High school soccer on Ticket TV is presented by Quirk Auto Group, Greenway Equipment, Brewer Redemption Center, Acadia Federal Credit Union, Pine Tree Solar, Next Home Experience, Northeast Driving School, Uno's Pizzeria and Grill, Dean's Detailing, Levesque Business Solutions, Bangor Window Shade and Drapery, Rebecca's Gift Shop, Height Family of Dealerships, Novus Glass, Firehouse Subs, County Physical Therapy, Flash Me Maine Photo Booth Rentals, Chase's Family Restaurant and Hideaway Lounge, and the Coach House Restaurant. Also presented by Down East Toyota, Twin City Tire, C&K Variety, Midcoast Denture Design, First National Bank, Creative Options, Kia Van Sickle, Napa Auto Parts, Hammond Lumber Company, and Mainly Eyes. High school soccer on Ticket TV is also brought to you by Tony Murray's Fairway Auto Sales, Tossie's Checkout, Comfort Shoes and more, Autumn of Life Home Care, The Fish Company, The Corner Store, Black Fly Coffee Company, Smith & Lane Pressure Washing, Lumber Landscape and Supply Company, Loring Job Corps, and Hildreth Street Automotive. High school soccer on Ticket TV is a production of Sports Radio 92.9 The Ticket and Sportsnet Maine. Now let's get you out to the action on Ticket TV.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hamden Academy, and welcome to high school soccer on Ticket TV. Playoff style here tonight as we have a matchup between the number 4 MDI Trojans and the number 1 seeded John Bapst Crusaders in this Class B North semifinal. Jim Churchill, your pregame host, along with our broadcasters for tonight's game. Alex Mooney will be on play-by-play, and Ernie Clark will be our color analyst. And Ernie, let's start with you, and let's talk about the MDI Trojans, number 4 seed, coming off a win against PI at home in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, actually, MDI lost their last 2 regular season games to fall to 7-5-2, but have bounced back, again, rallying from a 1-0 halftime deficit to defeat Presque Isle in the quarterfinals during this third matchup of the regular season against John Bapst. Bapst undefeated. I know Alex is going to talk about Bapst. They're undefeated at 13-0-1. The only blemish, a 2-2 tie with MDI on October the 8th down in Bar Harbor. John Bapst won the earlier meeting between these teams 3-0. So, but MDI knows they can play with them because they've played them to a stalemate.
And Alex, we've seen this Crusader team a couple times earlier this season. Very impressive. Talk about the John Bapst crew here in 2022.
Yeah, for them it's going to be really needing. For them it's going to.
Oh, we've lost Alex. Alex, tell the fans.
For them, they're really going to be needing to dominate the midfield, especially having Kyle Sidway along with Hunter Kluke. Those two have been pretty prolific into the central part of the field, being that little bit of a segue for the center forwards in the backs, being able to hit them from the rear, turn, take that touch, look open to the wings. The one thing that they're really going to have to do is put their pedal to the metal early on this match. We saw in the first 15 minutes, they started slow against Caribou. Caribou had a couple of scares with some counterattacks, but Bapst ended up being able to prevail through that difficulty. They're going to have to start out strong. As we know, MDI, real physical team. They have a few injuries on their side, but they're still going to look to try and come out with a win. Whoever wins ends up facing the Winslow Raiders.
There you go. All right, that is our first segment of the Northeast Driving School pregame show. When we come back, we'll look at the program histories. We'll look at how these two teams got to this point. Class B North semifinal action, the Trojans and the Crusaders, here on Ticket TV.
The day begins in darkness. Time does not define me. It drives me to keep roads, schools, and storefronts open, making sure our town is open by daybreak and our livelihoods are open for business.
It's your boss. Find it at Quirk.
When it comes to repairing or replacing your windshield, Novus is the clear choice in glass repair. Locally owned and operated at 499 Hammond Street, we offer free mobile service in the greater Bangor area, as well as shuttle service during bad weather. We can come to your home, workplace, or anywhere you are. Novus is a preferred service provider by all insurance companies, and we can cover up to $100 of your insurance deductible. Whether it's repairing or replacing your windshield, door glass, mirror, or your rear window glass, you can count on Novus to be where you are when you need us the most. Call Novus today.
If you're tired of rising electric costs, Pine Tree Solar in Herman can drastically lower or eliminate power bills for your home or business. Pine Tree Solar can even design and install off-grid systems for camps and remote locations. We are dedicated to making the process of going solar smooth and simple. Call us at 401-4300 or visit us online at pinetreesolar.com, where our local solar energy experts will give you a free solar energy consultation. Pine Tree Solar. Go green while saving green.
What's the biggest craze this fall for parties and get-togethers? It's Flash Me Maine. Photo booths are a fun, exciting way to capture memories at your party or event. And Flash Me Maine is the premier photo booth rental company. The Magic Mirror booth is the most elegant, modern, sleek, and stunning booth currently available. Then there's the Flash Me Maine Duo booth, a hybrid booth that is portable. Flash Me Maine has dozens of props and backgrounds to choose from. Their goal is to make sure you have fun and that your photo booth photos make memories to last a lifetime. Let Flash Me Maine photo booth rentals make your next get-together a blast. Find them on Facebook or at flashmemaine.com.
He can't catch a football, but he can fetch you a home. Catch Luke at Next Home Experience.
Back here at Hamden Academy, under the lights, high school playoff hockey in the offing here in just a matter of moments. Jim Churchill hosting the pregame show along with Alex Mooney and Ernie Clark. And Ernie and I are going to take a look at some of the history here. But first, I want to remind folks our broadcast here tonight presented by Quirk Auto Group. Now let's take a look at how the Trojans managed to get here to this game, Ernie.
Yeah, knocked off number 5 Presque Isle 2-1. That was up in the count. No, it was down in Bar Harbor. Presque Isle jumps out to a 1-0 lead, and MDI comes back with a couple second-half goals to advance to tonight's semifinal.
And I think that's an important thing to remember. They've shown they get down early. They have that comeback ability. And now let's look at the quarterfinal action for the Crusaders.
Yeah, it started a little slow, relatively speaking, for the high-scoring Crusaders, but once they got going and cruised past number 8 Caribou 6-1.
And now let's take a look at the Trojan program history.
Yeah, you see MDI won 8-3 just a year ago, and here they are, not quite reversing the record, but 8 wins, 8-5-2, heading into this match today. And before that, a real strong 2019 before the 2020 campaign was wiped out by COVID-19.
And the Crusaders have been a force here in 2022, and you can see the momentum building in that recent history, Ernie.
Yeah, again, a couple of solid years there before and after the pandemic, and now a chance to earn themselves a rematch in the Northern Maine final against the team that knocked them off last year in the Winslow Black Raiders. Black Raiders seeded number 2, knocked off Oceanside to advance to the to Wednesday's 4 o'clock game at Cameron Stadium in Bangor.
And another factor here tonight, Ernie, the team's playing on a neutral field.
Yes, indeed. It's neutral, it's artificial turf, and well lit, and I'm sure they're excited to not have to worry about conditions. I mean,
yes.
It's a little bit of a breeze, actually, although you wouldn't know it by looking at the flag. But I can feel it. So
yes.
and there is usually it blows from left to right on your screen. So whatever advantage there'll be that way, that will be the direction it's going. Both halves, but for one team's advantage in the first half, certainly.
And the one thing I'll say, and I'm going to hope I'm not jinxing us, but October 31st, Halloween night.
Whoa.
And while there's a little chill in the air,
this
is spectacular weather, Ernie.
Well, we get a half moon out right
yes.
there.
Yeah, right up there. We'll try to catch that on tonight's broadcast.
Adds a little eeriness to the festivities, but hopefully we'll be in good shape and the weather will hold out until this game is over, and I'm still looking for some candy here, but I don't see too much.
Ernie's got his trick or treat ready to go, but
spare Kit Kat.
Nobody to deal it to.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take another timeout here in the pregame show. Looking forward to this one. Number 4 against number 1. High school soccer on Ticket TV, presented by Acadia Federal Credit Union, one of our great sponsors. Thanks to Acadia Federal Credit Union, as we are moments away from the kickoff in this one. MDI and John Bapst, high school soccer on Ticket TV.
From the land to the sea, Chase's Family Restaurant is the place to be.
Are you looking for a place to unwind after a long day?
Then come check out our Hideaway Lounge.
With a bar that's both upbeat and laid back. And it's the perfect atmosphere for anyone who wants to unwind after work.
Or kick it up for the weekends with daily drink specials and a full dinner menu.
You can fill up on a good time any night of the week.
Thank you for being a part of our family.
Here at Chase's Family Restaurant.
We can go into a room and have absolutely nothing in there, nothing on the windows, no color, no character, no tone to a room.
That's, I think, where we're strongest, is being able to help someone envision what's going to go in that window.
And we leave, it's totally transformed into something that the customer wants it to be. We've often been told we make a room look better just by leaving it.
At Acadia Federal Credit Union, we care about our members.
Thank you. We care. Have a good day.
We care about our members.
We care.
We care about each other.
Acadia Federal Credit Union is an unusual financial institution because we care deeply about our members, our communities, and each other.
Acadia Federal Credit Union, serving northern and eastern Maine with 8 branch locations.
We have an amazing team here at Hyford. I run the place. No, you won't use that, right? The Heights care about their employees. They are a family. That meant a lot to me. And they care about this town. They want this town to succeed.
I always joke around that we come in to hang out and once in a while we accidentally sell a car. We're all friends here. Our customers aren't customers, they're friends, and friends and their family.
Nothing runs like a Deere.
And Greenway Equipment Sales keeps your John Deere running year-round with convenient mobile maintenance service. We service most walk-behind and riding lawn equipment right in your yard in our specialty-equipped truck with no mess in your driveway. Our 14-point checkup will keep your John Deere running smoothly. We'll even change attachments for you. Call the Smith Brothers today to schedule expert service right at your door. With 2 trucks now on the road to serve you better.
Nothing runs like a Deere. From Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
Hammond Lumber Company is honored to have again been named one of the best places to work in Maine. Hammond Lumber recognizes the importance of employee satisfaction. They provide a positive workplace environment with opportunities to grow. Hammond has continued to grow too, with more team members across Maine and New Hampshire. To find your place on the Hammond team, click on the careers link at hammondlumber.com. Hammond Lumber Company, proud to be one of the best places to work in Maine.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Are you ready? When the forecast calls for nasty weather, all roads lead to down east. With Toyota's impressive lineup of 15 all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles, you're sure to find a model and payment that's right for you. Don't see it on our lot? Here's the latest update on models arriving soon. Pre-order yours now for the fastest delivery. When Maine roads get messy, all roads lead to down east. Your four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive headquarters on Wilson Street in Brewer.
Back here at Hampden Academy as we get set for the opening kickoff in this semifinal in Class B North between the MDI Trojans and the John Bapst Crusaders. Great night for it, Ernie, and seems like the fans are ready and the teams look ready as well.
Well, it's a pretty good crowd here from both communities. Of course, Hampden Academy will host the Class B and C state finals on Saturday, so there's more soccer to come. But for now, Alex, it's a berth in the Northern Maine final at stake.
Yeah, and you mentioned, too, Bapst really been honed in on that rematch they want to try and get against Winslow. Of course, them not being a Penobscot Valley Conference School only really do see him in the playoffs. And high school sports on Ticket TV is presented by Pine Tree Solar, one of our amazing sponsors here supporting local high school sports. Let's get ball into MDI Trojans to start off. They're going to put it in their back line, try and get some sequence into their center mids. Bapst putting on some strong pressure. Trojans trying to turn. They're stuck in, pinned on that near side inside their defensive third. Pass, good 1-2 into the midfield. A couple of strong touches, ends up into the feet for a couple. The Crusaders run away with it on the far side. String it in. Going from far to near. It's going to end up into the feet. Number 11, Columber. Columber, near side, wants to find Sidway. Sidway going to push it in towards the box. Trojans, they are defensively. Try and clear it out, but Sidway gets it back. Couple of maneuvers. Trying to dance his way into it. He's going to cross it onto the far side 18. Touch, looking for a shot. They try on the second one. Fletcher that time having it just in front of the keepers. He's able to scoop it up.
Yeah, good work there by John Bapst offensively. Used both sides of the field, and that sets up Fletcher for a shot to the near post. But the goalie for Mount Desert Island right there, alert to make the first save of the match.
Fletcher, far side, takes a couple of touches, wants a 1-2, ends up having to leave it in. It's going to come back right where it came from. Switch of field of play, this time into Columber. Columber settles it in at that right back. Punches it back in. It's time for Hart. Hart cycles it through his back line. Dangerous play right there, but Crusaders able to hold on to it still. Battling on that far side. Crusaders trying to get by one. They do so. Trying to hold up defensively is Donahue. Donahue trying to put on some pressure, but Crusaders make their way into the 18. Trying to set themselves up for a shot, but nailing it out is Watson. Trojans on the run. Trojans stuck inside defensive half. They're really looking to find Brandon Marsh, the senior. He's been a catalyst for the Trojans offensively. Crusaders keeping it stuck right at that left back spot. Martin cuts back in. Now ends up bumbling its way into Sidway's feet. Sidway to Columber, near side. Columber greeted by two defenders. Decides to hit Hart. Hart going to be the swivel into the midfield. Turns off into the left backs. String it up top. Looking for a 1-2. Miscommunication between the Crusaders. Going to end up for possession with the Trojans.
Not too many secrets between these teams. They obviously played twice during the regular season and played twice during the regular season pretty much every year as members of the Penobscot Valley Conference.
Let's get a couple of scissors. Blows by a few defenders. Puts the lead pass. It's going to be too heavy. It's coming out to hold on to it as keeper Aiden Fischella.
Yeah, John Bapst providing all the pressure here as MDI unable to get the ball into their offensive end, but a couple of good rushes early in the game by the Crusaders.
We watched the Crusaders too. We mentioned this is a quick crack at it. Low right, not going to tail its way in. Inches wide. It's going to be a goal kick, first one of the match here for the Trojans.
Yeah, good pressure. Kick from the right wing through an MDI defender over to the left for a quick shot, just wide of that right post. So plenty of pressure being put on by the top-ranked and undefeated Crusaders here in the first 4 minutes of play.
Ball makes its way inside the 18. Was intended for Fletcher. Too heavy of a pass, but Crusaders so far in the past 5 minutes really done a good job getting inside the 18.
Yeah, trying to thread the needle there were the Crusaders as it was fairly well defended. And then, as you mentioned, the pass too heavy and goalie on the save.
This Crusaders turned over right at the midfield line. Trying to cross fields is Watson, but he's going to have to leave it off in for Baker. Baker turns, wants on that wide side, not going to work. Throw in for John Bapst, far side, right outside their defensive third.
Goalie for Mount Desert Island is Aiden Fischella, a junior, and for John Bapst, a senior Matt Fitzpatrick. A couple of veterans in goal.
Fitzpatrick in that game against the Vikings. The Vikings had one attack where if they scored, that would be a 1-0 game, which would be a completely different story in itself. But Patrick came out right outside the box, had a save, was a rocket to the chest, and definitely not a comfortable one, but showing how he's been fearless in net.
No, but it was one of those plays that kind of maintained the momentum in the favor of the Crusaders. Had Caribou struck early, number 8 seed, didn't come down to the area with perhaps great expectations, but all of a sudden you get in front 1-0 and it changes your complexion. As it was, that game wound up 6-1 in favor of John Bapst as they knocked off the Vikings for the 3rd time this season.
High School Sports on Ticket TV, also presented by Brewer Redemption Center, one of our many great sponsors that we have here on Ticket TV, supporting local high school sports. Ball into the central part of the field. Crusaders trying to get a touch. Kluke able to shift it up top to Fletcher. Ball ricochets its way into the feet of Sidway. Sidway to Columber. Columber, missed touch, has to make his way back. Sidway once more, doing a good job at dancing around in the midfield. Leaves a few Trojans, hits it off for his partner in crime. They put it up top. Intended for Kluke. It's going to trickle off a couple of feet. That's going to be Fischello who comes up to scoop up the ball.
I'm guessing John Bapst probably has the edge a number of times, number of matches they've played on turf this spring, or this fall, excuse me.
Of course, they do technically have a primary field over at Union Street, but we've seen them a multitude of times with Union Street having a hard time keeping it in good playing conditions for the Crusaders. So they moved over to Boucher Field. They've had some at Cameron Stadium. They've been pretty versatile and hasn't really affected their record, but allowed them more access to artificial turf.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to, we get an increase in the number of available fields turf-wise every couple of years as John Bapst threatens again, only to have it cleared out by Mount Desert Island. And it seems like every year or two is an additional field where people can play on turf in pretty much pristine conditions like we have here tonight.
All ricochets off the slide tackle. Crusaders find Hart. Hart, head up, looking for a couple, decides to skip his right back, goes to the near side. This one in for Columber. Columber back to the central part for McCafferty. McCafferty trying to track down the loose ball. He does so. McCafferty wants to find Fletcher. He sends him. Left footer. Gonna just hit the framing, but not the post. It's gonna be a goal kick once more.
Yeah, Fischello had that near post covered pretty well, but the ball never got there on the solid effort. Pangburn to Fletcher, and the shot from the left wing off to the side. Not on goal.
High School Sports on Ticket TV, also presented by Greenway Equipment Sales, one of our few great presenting sponsors at Sports High School Sports. All ricochets far side into the back line. Crusaders really had majority of the possession in the attacking half so far, but first free kick of the match will end up for the Trojans.
Again, those regular season meetings, 3-1 in favor of John Bapst, 3-0 I should say. That was back on September 17th, so that was 6 weeks ago. And then the more recent meeting on October the 8th, a 2-2 tie down at MDI High School in Bar Harbor.
And I talked with some of that too. These Crusaders have a strong attack, trying to cross it. It's going to ricochet, be a throw-in at just 10 yards outside near side corner flag. But I was talking with the head coach for the Trojans prior to this. They mentioned to me a lot of the players early on this season, although they do play on grass, we're struggling with turf toe. So I know it's not the most common thing in the world, but on grass it's honestly a little easier because you have that dirt, you stub your toe right in. It's not like artificial turf where you have that little bit of a rubber, so you always have that cushion.
Head coach for the MDI Trojans, Max Mason, and Jason Pangburn, the head coach of the John Bapst Crusaders.
And Ernie, taking a look. I know it's a little bit early, but what are the keys to the game?
Well, I think it's for MDI is to kind of hold the fort, which is what they've done so far through nearly 10 minutes, and that's just to be stout defensively to keep the Crusaders off the scoreboard and from playing in front. And for John Bapst, it's to not get caught on the counterattack, as they've put forth a lot of the offensive pressure so far. They continue with the pressure. They feel like they're going to score sooner or later. What they don't want to do is get caught with MDI going the other way with numbers. I'm sure it's a situation they've faced throughout the season, though, where they have, been the number one team and led in virtually all their games. So there's an awareness there of the counterattack among the defensive players on the squad. But still, it doesn't take a matter of seconds for the complexion to change drastically if, in this case, MDI would get out there with a 3-on-2 break or off a possession deep in the offensive end for John Bapst.
And we saw that happen too. Fitzpatrick put a stop to the parade for the Vikings, but the Vikings were really relying on those counterattacks when it was 0-0 and then put in some strong efforts.
Yeah, I think MDI is more willing to play a possession game with the Crusaders, kind of take that battle and just work the ball up the field methodically. But there is going to be some opportunities for Brandon Marsh to kind of break downfield, anticipating a change of direction with the ball. And if MDI can recognize that, there's a shot for them to get something going, like right there.
High School Sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by Next Home Experience. Next Home Experience is listing and selling homes all over Maine. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience.
I would suggest, too, that Brandon Marsh, pretty tall kid. Looks to be about 6'2" or so, and he might be fairly dangerous on corner kicks and other restarts deep in the offensive end.
Yeah, he's very skilled with his feet, too. He is a center forward, so he hadn't had the ball at his feet a lot of the times, but when he checks back past that half-field line for his midfield, you see a lot of times it's controlled, keeps his head up. He's not rushed. So ball trickles into Columber's feet. Columber trying to get it past the back line, ricochets off a few. Trojans trying to keep it in possession. They're able to string it into the central part, this time in for Marsh. Excuse me, that one was actually for Baker. That's going to be a foul once more on the Crusaders. Free kick for the Trojans.
A dangerous play there, I think, by John Pangburn in the middle of the field there on that block.
Let's get a long free kick. Crusaders hit it to the floor, looking for a handball. It's Marsh gets it through, ricochets off a few, hits a couple of his teammates' heads, and this looks like a dangerous one as this one winds up into the boots of Watson. Watson makes his way under the central part, inside the 18. Crusaders trying to knife it out. Crusaders face one shot. They try another. Sidway tries some clearance. Ball rumbling now into the edge of the attacking third for the Trojans. Crusaders touch. They're able to run with it. Looking on that near side. They put it through the wickets, trying to create the break. Not going to go. Possession remains in MDI's favor.
Mentioned Cole Watson. He's a playmaker for the Trojans. A couple of assists in that 2-1 quarterfinal win over Presque Isle. So when you see him with the ball, be aware of the people cutting toward the goal crease because he will find them.
Presque Isle, too. They've got some big kids on their team. Taking a look at our county physical therapy injury report update. Talking with coaches for MDI prior to this. Goalkeeper Aiden Fischella has both his ankles wrapped up. Obviously, he's still in action for tonight, but preventing some of that mobility. He's one of the few players that has had the ankle bug, as head coach Max Mason explained to me.
Yeah, you play through injuries when you get to this point of the year. This is what you have spent all season getting ready for, is the opportunity to win a championship or continue on a championship run. So no surprise that Aiden Fischella is going to play through any ankle pain he might be suffering.
And ankles, I feel like at least in soccer and in football, are some of the more common injuries. I mean, it's enjoy the game, is twist and turn and go.
Yes, and quickly.
It's a long throw into the central part, gets volleyed into the air. Sidway trying to bring it down, not going to do so. They're looking for Columber near side, going to be too heavy. Fletcher's going to try and contest, throw in number 14, Moses Lincoln. Lincoln's throwing in the central part. Crusaders hold on to it. Kluke turns. He has some options. ends up losing it. It ricochets into the backs for Crusaders. Kluke comes back, retrieves it, leaves it off into one of his mates. This one for Skasel. Skasel turns, surveys the field, looks back to Kluke, finds Sidway. Sidway almost having it, but ends up being belted out from the Trojans. They maintain possession.
Mentioned pink soccer balls being used in observance of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I think that's pretty much being used everywhere here in the postseason.
We saw, I believe, not sure if it was for the same cause, but seems like it could allude to is, I believe 3 broadcasts ago we saw the refs in pink jerseys.
Yeah, I think that was just an option that they have. They have numerous colored jerseys, I suppose, in order not to conflict with the colors of the teams on the field. And but they wear numerous ones tonight. What are they in? Kind of that fluorescent yellow tonight.
Quick serve into Sidway. Sidway turns, volleys it to the floor. Columber battling. Sidway trying to get it back. It's going to be out of bounds. Throw in for the Crusaders. High school sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by Firehouse Subs. For a limited time, you can enjoy a different handcrafted medium sub at a very special price every day of the week. A daily medium sub special, only at Firehouse Subs, 920 Stillwater Ave, and at firehousesubs.com. Fletcher tries to contest. Crowd wanting a handball, and I believe
it was sent back to the goalie by an MDI player, so he can't handle it.
Yes, technically, I believe it's going to be an indirect free kick.
That's what we've
for
got.
A handball
From essentially where you watch this 9 into the center and watch the ball get sent back to the goalie. Well, he can't handle it in that situation. He can kick it, but he can't grab it with his hands. And so you've got an indirect kick coming up. You see the wall in front of the goal, and the ball is placed at, the 6-yard line?
Yes.
And so it looks like John Pangburn, number 3, and number 4, Garrett Fletcher, getting ready to set up some sort of tip play and then expect some hard shot.
So the ball does have to be touched before it can be shot. Fletcher sets it up. Quick rocket. Goes off the crossbar. They try once more. Sails over the back of the goal. MDI Trojans walking away with that one, and literally a human wall.
Pretty good bid by Pangburn here. Got it over the wall, but just off the bottom of the crossbar. There you go. I think it might have been off a player off the bottom of the crossbar. And then Fletcher got a quick one-timer on the rebound, but over the top it went. So a big opportunity escaped by MDI and not quite taken advantage of. Not an easy shot. You had a lot of guys in front of the goal, but still good effort there, and the game remains scoreless.
Credit to the defense for MDI, too, for not turning. A lot of times players will jump up and turn because, I don't know about you, if I'm 5 yards in front of a ball and I know it's going to be a Mach 10 rocket, not really wanting to take that to the chest.
I suppose people wouldn't notice if I get hit in the face or not, but just I wouldn't appreciate the feeling necessarily. No, good defense there by MDI. It's been good defense throughout the first nearly 20 minutes of play here in the first half. Just a couple of shots on goal, but a couple of other good bids as well by the Crusaders.
It's Crusaders far side looking to get across. They have 3 on them. It's going to ricochet, go out of play. Corner kick. First one of the night.
Let's see. Is that Fletcher?
I believe so, yes.
On that, he's running over to that corner. Restart the play.
Fletcher gives his sign, curls it, back post, makes its way past a couple. Sidway wanted his feet on it, not going to get it. So a couple players go down regardless. Goal kick.
Yeah, just a little deep for what John Bapst wanted. They wanted it to the 4 post. This one, far post. This one goes beyond. And there's an MDI defender there to kind of screen off John Bapst from getting a touch on that before it went out of bounds.
Let's get a quick header, knocks its way to the ground. And I will say, Ernie, this view does give us a little bit better eyes on the Crusaders jerseys.
A little bit better.
Not perfect, but it's a little better. It's a little better.
Me and my glasses are still struggling a little bit, but it's black numbers with white trim on dark purple jerseys, and it's a bit of a challenge on some numbers.
So we see the Trojans trying to get a counterattack. Having it at feet is Nelson. Nelson near side into number 9, Cole Watson. Watson wanted to get at it. John Bapst staying in the way.
Yeah, Nelson scored that game winner against Prescott with about 24 minutes left off an assist from Watson. So those two familiar with working together.
So you get a bullet throw, almost gets mishandled, volley, then headed out into half field trying to track it down. It's number 2, Sam Bay, I believe. Quick boot, far side. Trojans have it at the feet. Want to string it once more, ends up going past a few players into the feet of the back line of the Crusaders. Ball going from far to central. It's belted back. Columber coming back to the mark, able to track it down. Heavy pass right here into teen Josh Martin. So we see the Crusaders turn away and they run with it. Trying to get over a couple of Trojans, but Columber collects the missed pass on the near side. Columber with 2 in front, trying to get his way by. And he gets past, trying to cross. Trickles inside the 18. Trojans just going to sky it into the air. Martin puts it back to the floor.
Trojans pretty sure-footed on the defensive end. There's no missed kicks when they need one to clear the ball out of play, out of danger.
And a lot of times you see with their headers, the analogy they always say, especially at the younger level, trying to make people break the fear of heading a ball that is X amount of feet in the air, is breaking the board. So you imagine the ball's the board, you put your hands up and you smash your head through your hands through the board. Trojans do a good job of not shying away from headers. You see every header they hit goes at least 5-10 feet. So we get a long shot right there from Columber, sails over. But every time the Trojans get a head on, it's going 5 or 10 feet. That's because there's no fear, there's no hesitation. They're meeting to the ball literally.
Yeah, and again, like I said, their kicks are true rather than mishits. That enables them to cause John Bapst a lot more problems on the offensive end because they're able to get the ball out of harm's way and reset the defense.
High School Sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by County Physical Therapy. Experience, modern facilities, quality care, and results. The choice is clear. County Physical Therapy, 82 Sylvan Road, Bangor. One thing I've noticed too, MDI is not afraid to have some substitutions. They've been plugging in players left and right.
Yeah, the idea is to keep fresh. You're playing intense soccer here. Both teams are, and whatever you can do to keep your players fresh for the second 40 is to your advantage.
So we get a foul. I believe it's going to be coming out. Yes, so drawing it is number 20, is Treyan Nelson. So 3 free kicks already for the Trojans. They let one rip. Hart going to head it down. Kluke turns, touch. He's going to leave it off. This one into McCafferty. McCafferty, long through ball. That one looks to appear to be Jack Mason. I think that is a 7.
It is.
Jack Mason trying to put it back to Kluke. Ends up going into the midfield.
That was a familiar position for Jack Mason in the quarterfinals against Caribou. He did a lot of damage from that left wing in terms of setting up teammates and setting up goals.
Mason and Fletcher both. Sidway did a great job at controlling the central part of the field. He was the main guy distributing, but those wings for whether it was Columber, Fletcher, Mason, you name it, they were working their tails off, and it really paid off for the Crusaders.
Yeah, they were all involved in the scoring. Fletcher had 2 goals in that quarterfinal, and Mason a goal and an assist. Columber also in on a goal.
It's a long shot right here. That one was about a 25-yard rocket. Crusaders now with their second corner kick.
Let's see. 17 passes it back. That's John Pangburn off the pass from Kyle Sidaway with a dangerous shot to that near post that Fischieller was able to block away.
Near side corner, it sails its way into the net. A beautiful serve right there from the Crusaders. And they score off the corner kick without the volley, straight from a Pierre Mason.
I think that's Mason. On that corner kick, there was a MDI player trying to get to the post. I don't know if he touched it or not, but ball goes in. Goalie never had a chance, and John Bapst takes the 1-0 lead.
And right there, that is why it is crucial to be sitting on your front and back post, as we saw right there, just curled the ball right from the corner kick line. You don't see it a lot, Ernie, but when you see it, it's impressive.
It's a heck of a shot, and especially to the near post, where you've got to kind of curl it around almost quickly. Again, it was a MDI player there. I don't know if it touched him, and it's possible. It didn't look like it changed direction much there, but the goalie didn't have a chance on it. And again, the Crusaders out in front.
It's Trojans pressuring that one. Ball is making its way to the back line of the Trojans. Trojans trying to push it on that far side. They do so. And the Crusaders, even though being a high seed, usually in the playoffs, a lot of times they're pretty close matchups. So then last year, this year, I mean, I know it was a 6-1 victory for them. However, a lot of times we see a slow first start. But in this half, I mean, in this first 30-plus minutes that we've been in so far, they've done a good job at matching the intensity of the Trojans.
Yes, they have. And they've controlled most of the play here as a long shot goes in on Fischeller, who makes the stop. Shots now 5-1. Shots on goal in favor of John Bapst. And again, these are very familiar opponents too, and sometimes the quarterfinals matches maybe aren't quite as close, especially when you get to the 1-8, 2-7s. But once you get to the semifinals, particularly if they're teams that play each other during the season, the matches tend to be a lot more competitive just because of the familiarity of the teams and the fact that they're up in the standings, like coming off good seasons, the quality of the teams. Get a push there against number 6, Riley Donahue, junior midfielder of MDI. I think, actually it's going to be a throw, and the ball went out of bounds ever so briefly.
This ball inside the 18. Crusaders trying to get another crack at it. Makes its way to the 6, but skied out.
That's Mason putting on some more pressure there. He's pretty tall as well, and he causes some problems in the goal crease.
Pangburn able to pass it over into Hart. Hart wanting to track at it, just goes behind the net, but great left footer right there for the Crusaders.
Yeah, that's a great threat there. Here is Pangburn. That's Hart there with the ball on his left foot, just short of the near post.
And even though Hart sits right in front of that back line, being the center defensive mid, we watched him get going against the Caribou Vikings as well.
Yeah, you got a lot of playmakers on this John Bapst roster. That's why they're 14-0-1 on the season. It's not by accident. It's not by one guy doing all the work, as we get a collision there.
So we now have the Trojans with their first truly dangerous attack. At one point was a 2-on-1. Crusaders able to bring numbers back. Couple of header, we see Sidway drew one. That's going to be a dangerous play as Sidway gets hit in the head. High school sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by Chase's Restaurant Hideaway Lounge, where great food and great fun meet. Chase's Family Restaurant, 1575 Hammond Street, Bangor. One of our other amazing sponsors that we have on Ticket TV is Tony Murray's Fairway Auto Sales. Tony Murray's Fairway Auto Sales. Your best bet for a quality pre-owned vehicle is Fairway Auto Sales in Hancock, home of the complimentary 6-month and 6,000-mile major component coverage plan. It's Tony Murray's Fairway Auto Sales.
We've been talking. Ooh.
So I believe they said the goal is actually going to be Jack Mason and assisted from DeRozier.
Now, how can you have a goal and assist when only one player from the scoring team touched the ball?
I'm a little confused, though. I was going to say there should be no assists, but we're going to take a look at our Novus Glass halftime highlights when the Who Knows halftime show comes up about 10 minutes from now. And
it's 1-0 Bapst. That's what I know at this point, at least. It's hard to tell. It's hard to see from where the public address is and, heck, where we are.
I was going to say, we are about probably 30, 40 feet ahead, and our view's a little bit better, but regardless of the elevation that they have, and view does not make it easy.
No, I just didn't see, once the ball was kicked from the corner, I didn't see anybody from John Bapst touch it in the goal crease.
Same here.
I saw the goalie, I saw a defender from MDI. That's all I saw. Now, and Mason has been somebody that's been taking the corner kick, so I'll stick with that for the time being.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say the only other argument I'd see is where you mentioned during the replay how could have gone off of an MDI foot, but still then you'd give the credit to whoever had the ball last.
Well, as opposed to who was nearest to the ball?
I believe, actually, no, you are right. You're right. It's who's nearest to the ball.
Well, maybe that's what they're saying here, is that it was off a defender. If it wasn't off the defender, then it would have to be the guy who kicked the corner kick, and that was Jack Mason.
Exactly.
So that's possible.
Well, I'll stick with Mason. I think Mason is the better one. As we get ball near side, Crusaders leave the central part of the field wide open. Pangburn comes in. He's able to put his foot on it. They put a halt to that. Pangburn's been everywhere. Sits in the mid, goes to center back. He's more of a floater.
And that's because he can contribute to pretty much any area of the field.
So we see the Crusaders have a little 2-on-1 opportunity. Excuse me, the Trojans have a 2-on-1 opportunity. Sidway stops it in the defensive half. Still lines up for the Trojans. Shot sails its way in. That one going to be scored from number 20, Treyan Nelson. And he finds the equalizer for the Trojans. It is now 1-1 here at Hamden Academy.
Yeah, let's see. They're working the ball down the right wing. Pass in is knocked away by a defender briefly. There's Marsh with the pass to Nelson. One dribble to his left and then over the top of Matt Fitzpatrick for the equalizer. So that's Treyan Nelson from number 10, Brandon Marsh, with 8:48 left in the opening half.
See how the Crusaders respond to this as they found themselves typically on the uphand of things, but just like at the start of the game, we are at dead even. So we have another opportunity for the Trojans. They try a long shot, goes wide left. Goal kick for Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that's Cole Watson, number 9 again, who has been pretty active on that left wing. Came up wide to the near post on that one, but the Trojans playing with some renewed vigor after getting that equalizer.
High school sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by Novus Glass. Call Novus Auto Glass to get your windshield repaired or replaced. Call Novus at 945-6688. Set up your appointment today. It's Crusaders taking their time. Pangburn with some touches in that central part. You see when he moves too, almost reminds me of Reed from Bangor Christian. Very effortless. Just go with the flow. Whatever the opportunities present, he usually takes them.
Yeah, that's credit to conditioning there.
He's going to pass too heavy for the Crusaders. We're going to have a throw in for the Trojans inside the defensive third. Coming out, it's number 20. That one going to be Treyan Nelson. He's getting some rest under his feet. Hoping to try and get another goal when he comes back. Header knocks around a couple. Trojans trying to hold on to it. Sidway hounding from behind. Sidway unable to steal. Some heavy pressure now from Jack Mason. Ball's going to sail its way from central to far side. Trojans trying to keep it in play. They do so. Crusaders thinking about deflecting it off. Instead, they just get it out of play as number 3, Martin Hurley, is doing a good job on that far side. Quick throw into Kluke. He takes a touch. He turns into the central part, opens up, looks for Sidway. Sidway with some strong pace. He's going to slide and hit the dirt. Crusaders try with another slide tackle. Will they have to throw it in their favor? Yes, it actually stays in play. That being one of our few blind spots.
Yeah, exactly.
As the Crusaders brought a barrage of a student section. Header hits the deck. Thought about going for Kluke. Instead, it's one-timed into Sidway. Sidway Over to Pangburn. Pangburn on that far side crosses the half-field line. He's got a couple of the Trojan defenders on their heels. Ball ricochets. Crusaders hold on to it. Some strong touches. Through ball almost made its way in to Pangburn. He's now going to backtrack. Sidway going to try a long crack. It's going to go down as Fischella is able to scoop it up off the floor.
Yeah, shot well struck, but right at Fischella. Didn't have to move, just had to go down to caress that with two hands.
Crusaders get inside the 18, but not without the Trojans being able to take it away. Trojans with some walking pace on this near side. They start to pick it up a little more. Hounding on this near side is 14 Josh Martin. Wanting to try and get the throw in, he doesn't do so.
John Bapst getting a little more physical here in the last couple of minutes. Works to their advantage. Here comes Mason.
Mason trying to put a touch onto it, but Sidway's going to give it onto the near side to Columber. Columber back to Martin. Martin greeted by Marsh. Marsh is going to disrupt it, forces Martin to get back at the right back spot. Martin takes the gamble. Ball rumbles around to the central part, pays off as Kluke takes care of it. Kluke to Pangburn. Pangburn gets by one. Pangburn with another. Tries a long shot. This one just going to sail above the crossbar. Goal kick for Trojans.
Yeah, Jim Churchill, a little officiating there. All he's missing was the Australian rules football hat. The chapeau. Again, more pressure by John Bapst.
High School Sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by the Coach House Restaurant. For home-style cooking in a friendly atmosphere, it's the Coach House. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. 457 Wilson Street in Brewer and thecoachhouserestaurant.com.
Another shot by the Crusaders. Ball brought in by Pangburn and eventually sent over to the left here. Can't see a number, maybe 10. Skasel. Good save at the near post by Fischella.
Fischella's been busy, done a good job at staying strong in net. Of course, he's only had a couple of real dangerous threats knocked at him, but regardless, you take your focus off for 1 second as a keeper and you let one in the back of the net. Let's get some good touches. They're going to call a foul on Sidway. Say they brought him down from behind. It's going to be a free kick. The only free kick of the match Crusaders have had is the handball ruled on Fischella because, of course, cannot pick up the ball when it's passed back to you. Other than that, Crusaders haven't had a foul go their way on the free kick side.
Well, that was probably the best one, though.
Exactly, exactly. So we get a strong header. They're trying to find Sidway once more. Sidway trying to get it. Marsh and one of his friends help him out. Shielding off, but Columber comes up. He's going to give it off into Fletcher. Fletcher putting on some pressure with the Trojans. Trojans knock it far side. Great ball right here from number 18, Corn Baker. It's going to be a throw-in for the Trojans. Far side, pinned right against that corner flag.
Yeah, you were right. That was great. That was time to shift the field. You had too many players kind of on this left wing to really get much done. Move the ball. There was a lot of exchanges of possession there, but once the ball was sent to the opposite side of the field, it was a one-on-one situation, and the Trojans earned a throw-in, but it goes out of bounds.
So it will be a goal kick here for Fitzpatrick. We'll see what head coach Max Mason, along with head coach Jason Pangburn, has in store for each of these clubs, as they both likely to go in 1-1. That threw me off a little bit. I saw him
two balls on the field.
Throw it behind him. I didn't see the second ball yet. Just saw him roll it out. So I was like, he just give them the corner kick? It was like, that's an interesting tactic. So we see some quick movements. This one for Fletcher. Fletcher trying to get a hold of it. Ends up having to do a split, regains composure. Takes a crack, bottom right corner, unable to capitalize, but the Crusaders will have a corner kick with just about 70 seconds remaining.
A lot of explosive play. That's Garrett Fletcher, actually. Gets on it. Goes for that near post, but Fischauer equal to the task. But tremendous play by Garrett Fletcher there to maintain possession against 3 different defenders and get the shot off.
So we get a long shot. Sails into the feet. Columber trying to get it back in. Excuse me, that's Kluke. Kluke unable to get past one, but Crusaders looking to get a quick throw. 40 seconds on the clock. Long one, Sidway tried to get a header. Kluke comes back, steals it away just outside the 18. Ball gets skied all the way to the back line. Fitzpatrick says he has it. He wants to clear it back up top. Fitzpatrick gives some service, going to sail its way into the 18, but the Trojans are going to let this one tail out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, nobody down there for Fitzpatrick to kick it to that deep, and I think the Trojans will be content to let the clock run out and go to halftime.
As we get the final 5 seconds tailing off the clock. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. First 40 minutes of action getting underway. We'll be right back with the Uno's halftime show. This is high school soccer on Ticket TV.
Fast, friendly, honest, and clean. Counted right in front of you. You won't have to wait long to leave Brewer Redemption Center with cash in your hand. Located in the North Brewer Shopping Center behind the Parody, Brewer Redemption Center is open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 6, and Saturdays, 8 to 4. So grab those returnables and head over to Brewer Redemption Center today. Our team is waiting for you.
I'm Phil Levesque, president of Levesque Business Solutions. We're a family-owned Maine business since 1963. We're your one-stop shop for great office products at affordable rates. From copiers to office furniture to PPE, we've got it all warehoused right here in Bangor. We're your local small Maine business with a dedicated staff providing honest and friendly customer service, top-of-the-line tech support, and the option of in-house leasing. Let us help you get back to...
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. So at Firehouse Subs, we don't just make subs, we make subs that are big, bold, and craveable. We make our subs differently because our subs make a difference. Like our spicy Cajun chicken with Cajun seasoned grilled chicken breast and a house-made Cajun mayo. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives.
Visit 920 Stillwater Avenue.
The day begins in darkness. Time does not define me. It drives me to keep roads, schools, and storefronts open, making sure our town is open by daybreak and our livelihoods are open for business.
It's your boss. Find it at Quirk.
Whether you want to get back to work, back to sports, or simply back to living your life, County Physical Therapy can help you achieve your goals. With a new location in Bangor, County Physical Therapy brings a 30-year history of high performance, outcome-based rehab to the Great Skates Plaza at 82 Sylvan Road. And with priority scheduling, you get seen in days, not weeks. Remember, it's your choice. Make the best choice. County Physical Therapy, now in Bangor. Call them today at 401-4324 or visit them online at countypt.com.
At Acadia Federal Credit Union, we care about our members.
Thank you. We care. Have a good day.
We care about our members.
We care. We care about each other.
Acadia Federal Credit Union is an unusual financial institution because we care deeply about our members, our communities, and each other.
Acadia Federal Credit Union, serving northern and eastern Maine with 8 branch locations.
Welcome to Rebecca's. For over 30 years, we've been serving our local customers in downtown Bangor, and we invite you to explore our historic shop.
Rebecca's carries many Maine-made products from local artisans. Perhaps you need a gift basket for your next celebration. We'll be glad to help. From blueberry ceramic dishes, gourmet foods featuring Stonewall Kitchen, fine wines to antique dishes and furniture. You're sure to find that perfect gift.
We hope to see you soon at Rebecca's.
We have an amazing team here at Highford. I run the place. No, you won't use that, right? The Heights care about their employees. They are a family. That meant a lot to me. And they care about this town. They want this town to succeed.
I always joke around that we come in to hang out and once in a while we accidentally sell a car. We're all friends here. Our customers aren't customers, they're friends, and friends and their family.
He can't catch a football, but he can fetch you a home. Catch Luke at Next Home Experience.
Nothing runs like a deer.
And Greenway Equipment Sales keeps your John Deere running year-round with convenient mobile maintenance service. We service most walk-behind and riding lawn equipment right in your yard in our specialty-equipped truck with no mess in your driveway. Our 14-point checkup will keep your John Deere running smoothly. We'll even change attachments for you. Call the Smith Brothers today to schedule expert service right at your door. With 2 trucks now on the road to serve you better.
Nothing runs like a deer. From Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
And we are back here at Hamden Academy. Jim Churchill, Ernie Clark with the halftime show. Alex Mooney will be back for the second half call. This is the Uno's halftime show, and you see some of the fans here on our fan cam, brought to you by Flash Me Maine Photo Booths. Good crowd here tonight, great atmosphere, and Ernie, a tremendous game. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Highlights brought to you by Novus Auto Glass in Bangor.
Yeah, here's some action. John Bapst with a lot of early pressure. There's Jack Mason working his magic. Shot to the near post, but Aiden Fischella able to make the save. Here comes Mason once again. Garrett Fletcher there waiting for the pass, but it didn't get there off the side of the net. And here's the situation. Mistake by MDI, kicking the ball back to the goalie. The goalie cannot use his hands in that situation. Sets up an indirect kick here for the Crusaders, and John Pangburn with a blast off the bottom of the crossbar and then off the back of the MDI wall, but then subsequently kicked out of play on the rebound. There's a escape by the Trojans, and there's another blast by Pangburn there. Good save by Fischella to keep this close until there's some confusion as to who scored on that play, and it looks to me like it went directly into the goal.
Yeah. And at the very least, it might have gone off an MDI player. You saw the reaction of the MDI player after it trickled into the net there, so maybe just a glancing blow.
Yeah, and there's a shot wide there. There was upstairs they're awarding it to somebody else right at the moment, but Jack DeRozier actually. But I'm not sure if he touched. We won't know until after the game at this point, as John Bapst keeps applying pressure here with shots just wide. It is finally MDI getting the ball. There is Brandon Marsh kicking it to Trayon.
Laser beam right there.
Yeah, Trayon Nelson with the left foot. Took one dribble to his left after the pass over from Marsh, and then just blasted a shot from about 20 yards out past Matt Fitzpatrick to tie this game. That came with 8:48 left in the opening half.
Physical half, too.
Very physical half, and got more physical as time went on. Here's Fletcher again. Nice work there to get himself a shot. I think it might have been wide of the post, but Fischella went down. He was taking no chances and made the stop, pushed it out of bounds. And the score at intermission is John Bapst 1 and Mount Desert Island 1.
All right, we will take a timeout. Back with more of the Uno's halftime show right after this. This is high school soccer playoff style on Ticket TV.
The Dream First Community Debit Card. When you shop local, use your Dream First Community Debit Card and we'll donate to a local food bank. You'll be supporting the businesses that help make our communities the beautiful and unique places we call home, while also helping end food insecurity right here where we live. When you shop local, we give local. That's simple. The Dream First Community Debit Card, only from the First National Bank. Learn more at dreamfirstcommunity.com.
Coastal Auto Parts proudly supports education for the skilled trades. These parents agree that allowing their children to explore trade opportunities at Hancock County Technical Center was a good move.
With our son, we saw the most difference
almost like a light bulb being turned on.
And my daughter, because of her experience here at HCTC, she knows what she wants to do. She's gotten to try it. I feel like that's going to set her up for success.
Coastal Auto Parts, owned and operated by a Maine family that...
Life is so much better when you impact the lives of those around you. And with Creative Options, you will. Creative Options provides services and support to adults with intellectual disabilities. And right now, Creative Options is looking for shared living providers who take clients into their own homes, kind of like adult foster care. You'll enjoy a generous, tax-free stipend to work from home and make a difference in someone's life. To apply for this tremendous opportunity, simply visit creativeoptionsllc.org. That's creativeoptionsllc.org. Creative Options, where it's all about choice.
Every Maine winter brings its challenges, but one thing always remains the same. Having the right winter tires on your vehicle will get you and your family where you need to go safely. At Twin City Tire and Service in Brewer, you'll find the lowest prices on tires guaranteed. All the best brands for all the worst weather conditions. From alignments to brakes and everything else under the hood, Twin City Tire wants to help you have your safest winter yet. Find the perfect set of winter tires for your vehicle at Twin City Tire and Service, 609 Wilson Street, Brewer.
At Midcoast Denture Design, we truly understand the importance of offering an affordable treatment plan that always considers your needs first. We create beautiful new full and partial dentures, as well as offering repairs and relines to your current dentures. We want your denture to fit comfortably, be affordable, and most of all, make you happy.
At Midcoast Denture Design, your smile is what matters most. In fact, it's our job to make sure you have a smile you can be proud of at a price you can afford.
Call Midcoast Denture Design,
because everyone deserves to have it.
Back to Hamden Academy, Alex Mooney alongside Ernie Clark here in the Levesque Business Solutions broadcast booth. Ernie, it's 1-1, 40 minutes of play left, just as if you were going to start the match.
Yeah, it's an exciting match. It certainly got more physical as the half went along. Again, familiarity between these teams. John Bapst with most of the territorial control in the first half, but MDI with a good countering strike there late in the period, and I don't know if the next goal wins or not, but it's going to be very important.
Now, of course, the next goal, if it doesn't declare the winner, whoever ends up defying the odds, it does show the discipline on the team. As in playoffs, you see a lot of times when it's close-knit game, that one goal goes in. You get a couple of players with their heads still up, but a lot of times really kills the confidence for some.
Yeah, and obviously the next goal doesn't end the match by itself. We got 40 minutes here, but just to get that lead is going to be very important here for either one of these teams.
High school sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by Glenburn Landscape and Supply Company. For the best in landscaping supplies, and equipment, it's Glenburn Landscape and Supply Company. Call 573-1201 or go to glenburnlandscape.com. As we see touches into Sidway. Sidway wanted to go right, decides to take it a little bit back, but Marsh is going to intercept it. Trojans thought about a counterattack, but only were really stuck. A 1v5 situation. So they look for Marsh, sails past him. Hart trying to just jockey his way in front, going to roll out a play, throw in for Crusaders. This ball moves around a little bit. Trojans have it into the central part. Pangburn turns. Hits it near side, on the run for Mason. Mason touches, gets his way inside the 18. Mason trying to get around a few, jockeying his way around, and it's going to be out of play off of the Trojans.
Good work by Mason there, but as the number of defenders grows, the more difficult it is to make that individual move over there on the wing. Shot wide by Garrett Fletcher there, straightaway shot.
The Trojans do have a goal kick right now. Let's take a look at the Trojans profile, school profile. We got the program history right there too. Let's take a look at the profile right after. Program history being a little rich, Ernie.
Yeah, I mean, it was a struggle last year, but before the pandemic, 10-2-2 on the season. Pretty strong effort by the Trojans.
So we see it's now going to be a corner kick. After that, we'll take a look at the profile on their side. But right now we hear the John Bapst fan base giving some big rumbles here at Hamden Academy.
Jack Mason set to make the corner kick.
Header makes its way in. That one, I believe, coming off. Let's see who leaves the pack. I believe that's Sidway. And the Crusaders now find themselves up 2-1 with just 37 minutes remaining.
Yeah, watch this nice high kick toward the far post at the 6-yard line. There he is right there celebrating. I think it was Sidaway.
I believe it was. It's when he got at half field. Had a lot of warm welcomes from his fellow team.
Jack Mason again, so dangerous with those corner kicks. We think he has a goal, and now he has an assist to go with it. Indeed.
So we are given the clarification on Sidaway having that goal, and usually on the distributing part of things, but I'm sure he likes being on the scoring side as well.
Yeah. We name Jack Mason our player of the game for the Colby Caribou game just because of all the work he did over there and setting up opportunities, and certainly he's back at it again tonight with, at the worst, 2 assists, but at the best, a goal and an assist.
Let's get a long throw. It's almost a catapult. Skies its way into the 18. Crusaders doing everything they can to head it out. Kluke puts it onto the floor. Starts going towards the touch line. So we get some jockeying. Trojans able to hold it in, but it's going to be a goal kick for Fitzpatrick. And while we're talking about both sides, taking a look at the school profile for the Trojans.
Yes, 535 is the enrollment. Matthew Haney, the principal, Bunky Dow, longtime athletic administrator, and Mike Zebere, superintendent of schools in Bar Harbor.
And looking over on the John Bapst side of life.
486, the enrollment, David Armistad, head of school, and Dan O'Connell, athletic administrator.
We've seen Dan quite a lot this season, too, with, of course, probably CMDI a lot if we're a little bit closer, but Dan O'Connell been on the side from David Utterback, one of the many athletic directors that we've really been working with.
Dan doubles as the Crusaders head football coach as well, and we've had 2 of the John Bapst regular season football games on the Ticket TV airwaves this fall.
High school sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by Tossie's Checkout Convenience Store in Glenburn. Groceries, gas, and great food to go. Tossie's has it all. 1492 Pushaw Road in Glenburn and at Tossie'sCheckout.com.
By the way, that John Bapst football team completed the regular season ranked number 6 in Class D, the statewide division, and they will play at number 3 Lisbon this weekend, most likely on Friday night.
So we hear the crowd rumbles and Hart trying to draw that foul. Quick to get up, though, and keep setting the pace. Kluke, strong attack. They're going to rule that one as a free kick. Taking another look at it.
Nice little flick behind. The advance up the field is stopped by a block in the back, and so a free kick for MDI.
And that one had to hurt as Sidway hit it with the crown of the head. And now we see on his horse is Fletcher. Fletcher displayed a lot of speed, keeps the ball right in, gets his partner in crime into Mason. Mason now wants some at it. Mason with 1 in front. Loses it. Fletcher now battling to get possession back. He does so. Fletcher throws it away into the central part of the field. Columber missed touch. Crusaders hold on to possession. See Crusaders falling left and right.
Yeah, it's a physical game on both sides here. Continuation of the late first half. Not a lot of fouls, but just aggressive play.
And we saw Crusaders, they were aggressive early on, but didn't have that physicality. And then that last 15, 20 minutes play, but really that last 15 and 10, they were coming out heavy. So you see quick sprints right here from number 5, McCafferty. McCafferty going to lose it at a play, throw in on this near side for the Trojans.
See Mason telling his teammates to settle down, relax, as things get a little hectic.
As Pangburn comes in, heads it. Rethrow, same spot, Trojans. On to feet, pass back, looking to try and volley it. Pangburn contest. Backline of the Crusaders. Martin heads it down. One thing to note, too, Martin has moved to center back. He was at that center defensive mid. Now Sedway has been moved to the CDM, so we'll see if that changes anything. But right now, Bapst, they've scored in the second half. So
Is that a function of the scoreboard there, those changes?
A little bit. I think, obviously, he does do a huge part in that offensive scheme for them, but I think just the vocal that I don't know if vocality is a word, but how he directs the field of play is really good. And with him being in that center back spot, acts as another keeper. He can see the whole field.
Yeah, he's a good communicator back there.
There we go. That's the word I needed, Ernie. I just need you to bail me out. You see fighting on that far side. Crusaders keep it in, but it's going to go past the touchline. It's going to be a goal kick.
8 minutes into the second half now.
And I know the Crusaders, are loaded on the upperclassmen side of things. Let's take a look at the rosters for the Crusaders along with the Trojans.
Yeah, veteran team, of course, the MDI roster. 7 seniors to go with 7 juniors, so that's a pretty upper class led team as well. Just 4 freshmen and sophomores together, combined, I should say. And then if you look at John Bapst, I think they're about 11 seniors strong. Of course, returning from that trip to the Northern Maine final last year, 12 seniors actually. So really a very veteran squad there, and most of those seniors seeing significant duty along with several members of the junior class. So this is a year where they made it to the regional final a year ago, and now they're looking to take at least 1, if not 2 more steps.
Now it looks like, will the Crusaders draw a corner kick? No, they didn't. But Fletcher just giving it his all. Every time he's so good at just putting on the gas.
You envy the energies these kids have because it's a long field, 120 yards, and they're going up and down at breakneck speed and with the ball and trying to make things happen. And Fletcher's been very active throughout this contest so far.
High school sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by Uno's Pizzeria and Grill at 725 Stillwater Ave in Bangor. Enjoy half-price appetizers 4 to 7 p.m. and all day on NFL Sundays. For takeout, call 947-5000 or go to unos.com. This ball.
Yeah, look at the pressure that Fletcher's putting on, though, and how it's forcing the ball back to the goalie eventually in this case. And now John Bapst back on the offensive thanks to that forechecking of sorts by Garrett Fletcher.
And Fischella, too. You can notice he really wanted to pick up that ball, but he knew Fletcher basically has Nas in his back pocket to be able to crank on the speed. And the second he started to approach, said, we're just going to kick it out, play it safe rather than be sorry.
Yeah, some good activity there by John Pangburn there to kind of create opportunities. A couple of opportunities. Finally got a shot off wide to the left post, but dangerous attempt. That's sometimes your best defense is offensive pressure. Can't score if the ball's at the other end of the field.
Yeah, if you have strikers that are willing to play defense and commit to both sides of the ball, adds a whole new element. It's almost like Carmelo Anthony's a perfect example. One of the best scorers the NBA's had, but you ask him to play defense, and it's like going by a cone.
Yeah, they tell me he's changed in his last year or two as he's trying to hang on to his NBA career, but seeing is believing. I'm not so sure I've seen it yet, but good for him.
High school sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by Comfort Shoes and More in Newport, featuring athletic, casual dress, and work shoes in many styles from the leading manufacturers. Comfort Shoes and More, 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport, and ComfortShoesandMore.com.
Put it this way, there were a lot of rumors that Carmelo Anthony might be signed by the Celtics during the offseason as they look for some veteran help on their bench, and I, for one, was glad they signed
Blake Griffin?
Blake Griffin instead, yeah.
And Blake Griffin appears, I think he got a bad rep early, but he was in L.A., so the media out there is a lot different than, for, say, Boston.
Well, he's changed, too, as he's aged his career. He led the league, led the NBA last year in offensive fouls, in charging fouls taken, so he's willing to surrender his body for the good of the team there in those situations.
Sidway takes it into the central part, now to Kluke. Kluke with some strides. Trying to pull his way back. No advantage there. Crusaders will get their first free kick of the match, aside from that handball. But first, I should say, foul that has led to a free kick.
Now, you can't diminish that other one. That was a huge play.
Oh, yeah,
As it turned out, huge for MDI as they were able to make the save, but had the indirect kick from 6 yards out.
not too many times you see it hit the crossbar and bounce straight down. So you know you're talking centimeters now instead of even inches.
Well, and then it bounced off the backs of the wall for MDI.
So that one just caught in the air by a head from the Trojans. Crusaders don't have many numbers back. Their back line realizes as they rocket into the central part, and Pangburn takes a shot. This one really far out, at least a 40-yard bomb, but it's going to go over the net.
He looks relatively slight of stature, not the thickest guy in the world, but boy, he's got some power in those legs. Getting off some strong shots here. Actually, much more active that way than he was in the quarterfinals. Now, here he is there from about 35 yards out. A little bit high, but not for lack of velocity.
Now, I'll tell you what, speaking from previous experience, Ernie, the big guys, those are the ones you're prepared for. The guys like Pangburn, we had a kid that was at Husson when I played there who was about $115, $120, only about 5'6", 5'5", and he had probably one of the strongest shots I had ever seen in soccer. Just screamers every time.
Totally capitalized on the fact that probably a lot of other teams, at least those without great scouting reports, didn't expect much.
Oh, big time. And you put the league on notice real quick, as I'm sure Pangburn has done. I mean, this Crusaders squad has at least 6 or 7 people that could score on any given night, but Pangburn probably one of the few that comes out and says, "You see me. I'm in the center. I'm in the central mid of the field. You see where I am."
Get my shot. Senior captain for his father's team.
High School Sports on Ticket TV, also brought to you by the Corner Store, located at 575 Hammond Street in Bangor. Corner Store with all your convenience store needs, and they have an awesome deli. Don't forget the Saturday special. All cold sandwiches in the deli are buy one, get one half off. Go like the Corner Store on Facebook. See the ball kind of gridlocked in that central part. Trojans really trying to get it past that back line. Ball ricochets out. Marsh trying to get a hold of it. Ball is skied in the air. This is a dangerous one for the Crusaders. Hart heads it just outside the 18. Gets some help from Sidway. And the Trojans looking to try and switch fields. They do so. A couple of Crusaders try and march their way through, but it's going to be Fitzpatrick who comes in, puts the gloves on, and says, "Let's put a halt."
Really one of the first opportunities MDI has had territorially in the second half, but John Bapst quickly gets 7 defenders back there to prevent a clear shot.
Quick movement, far side. Trojans keep a hold of it. If you're just tuning in with us now, it was tied 1-1 at halftime, but the Crusaders were able to notch one in to put themselves up with a 2-1 lead coming off of Kyle Sidway's shot. See some great moves from Kluge. Ball flared out near side as we see some heavy sprints. They're going to cross it, far side. They try and set up Kluge. Kluge with a couple of juggles. It's going to volley its way out into Martin. And you watch Martin and Pangburn interchange a lot. Pangburn step back in at the center back, comes up, does his duty, and Martin now, he's going to tuck back in. Pangburn with some quick attack. Draws a lot of defenders with him. Tries a left footer. He's going to draw a corner kick for the Crusaders.
That's a wily, crafty veteran right there. Again, going in, seeing if there was a shot available. If a lane opened up, he was going to take the shot. But as he continued his way toward the end line, saw the defensive pressure coming and was able to force Mount Desert to kick the ball out over the end line. And that will earn John Bapst another corner kick.
Corner kick near side, makes its way to the opposite post. Ball takes one bounce into Marsh. He tries to put it to the floor. Ends up into Columber. Columber now near side into Mason. Mason wants to put it back into the 18. We see some battling right here. Miscommunication between Fischella and his back line. Back line's going to bring it out near side. Mason trying to hold on to it. Ball's going to bloop its way out of play, but both teams, no one really having possession. Just a little bit of an exchange right there.
No, but a lot of pressure being put on by John Bapst there. Just unwilling to let MDI clear the ball from its defensive end. Until finally the ball goes out of bounds and the Trojans get a throw in.
To give a shout out to our crew that we have in attendance, Jim Churchill and Nate Bailey being the site facilities, along with both taking a tag team duty on hosting and directing. Of course, got Matt Cunha along with Jay Baines and Laney on the camera crew, and Ernie Clark and I on the call.
Enjoying this one.
Ball on that far side. Trojans now have a 4v4 opportunity. Crusaders trying to backtrack. Ball ricochets off of the right backs. They're able to find it on the far side. Can't string together the passes. Trying to take away the mistouch from the Trojans. They do so. Crusaders now on the attacking end of life.
Yeah, just John Bapst just doing a good job getting numbers back defensively. And now here they come on the counter.
Sidway gets him on his heels. Sidway thought about it. Left footer ricochets off. Comes back to him. Kluke tries one, but a great save from Fischella as he keeps this a one-digit game.
Might be the save of the night there. Again, counterattack. First shot is blocked. Here comes Kluke on the rebound. Stepped right into it. On net, just under the crossbar, but Fischella able to go up and knock it away.
Ball, heavy hit to Pangburn. Pangburn puts it on target, skies its way. Bounces right outside the 6. They serve it back for for Mason. Mason tries a crack. Sails its way onto that far side. Crusaders let the Trojans have a little hit at it. So it sails its way into the central part. Mason down to Pangburn. Pangburn thought about the volley, says let's put it onto the deck. Crusaders trying to cycle it through that back line, but MDI doing a good job at keeping the pressure, so they're stuck on that far side.
Yeah, MDI would like to sneak in, steal a pass, and start going the other way. But right now, the Crusaders, whether it's their back line, midfield, or forwards, making MDI play a lot of defense.
It's Marsh going to have that one go out of play. They throw it near side into Mason. Mason unable to hold on to it as he has good little sequence played around him. Trojans want it into the midfield. High school sports on Ticket TV. Brought to you by Blackfly Coffee Company, serving the best coffee in the area. Located on Route 1A in Holden. Drive-through and mobile ordering available. Open 7 days a week, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Go check them out, blackflycoffee.com. And with it being fall, there's a lot of grimy stuff all around. If you're looking for anyone to help clean that up, Smith & Lane Pressure Washing is a great place to start. And if you want to revitalize your property, Smith & Lane Pressure Washing is the best place to start, specializing in vinyl, decks, concrete. For more information, go to smithandlanepressurewashing.com.
Under 20 minutes left in the second half here now. You just see the pressure continue to build as this remains a one-goal game. Off the second half goal by Kyle Sidaway.
So we see a long one hop. Fischella having to make the distance in the air. Pangburn trying to track it down in the mid. Mason does so. He hits the volley. Kluke has a good little header. Trying to turn. Ball ricochets off the shins. That one going to go out of play. And I believe that's number 18, Lincoln Walker, but I'm having a hard time seeing from this distance.
Yeah, you're looking at the wrong guy for help. It's hard to tell. I think you're right though. It's a rounded second number.
Header from Pangburn. Ball into feet. Now to Mason. He takes away the ricochet. Back to Pangburn. Pangburn thinks. You watch how controlled he is. He doesn't panic.
Nah, son of a coach there. He is viewing the big picture as he handles the ball.
This one's set up for
offsides.
Sidway, but offsides.
Yeah, and Mason knew it, but it was close. I don't think he expected the ball to get through from the right side to the left.
High school sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by Hildreth Street Automotive. They're a full-service automotive garage where they pride themselves with integrity and honesty. They also sell quality, affordable used cars. Call 217-6151 or go to hildrethstreetauto.com. Sidway puts his foot into it, and he ends up disrupting the piece. Mason holds on to it. Mason wants a 1-2. Walker's going to hold on to it. Tries a long shot. Ricochets. Kluke putting on the pressure, but Fischella comes out. He scoops it.
Yeah, dangerous play, even though the shot was blocked and that it made its way to the goalie with spin on it. And nobody else from Bapst can get there, and Fischel are able to gain possession, but still good thought by Walker there to take that shot and kind of force the action.
So we're going to have a stoppage of play, 17:45, going to be the mark. I want to take a brief moment. If you or someone you know is looking for free education and training, then you should stop looking and check out your opportunities today with Team Maine Job Corps. You can check them out at jobcorps.gov.
It was a drop ball there. Was the restart.
I think someone had to tie their shoe. Either that or a shin guard malfunction. Usually a lot of times, I mean, it makes sense. You take one of the shin guards.
Yeah.
Yes, that's going to save you, but 9 times out of 10 they end up
moving out of place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ooh, that was a huge rocket, but Marsh holds on to it. So we see some strong heading from Hart. So he's able to relay it through a couple of passes. Sidway gets into the central part. Sidway thought he had advantage, but no, he does not. Sidway's going to try a long bomb. This one into Mason. Mason putting on the Jets. Mason gets a touch in front. He now cuts inside the 18. Mason trying to do the duties, but he has been absolutely dangerous on this near side all night.
And again, sets up another corner, and we know how dangerous he is off the corner kick. He's just, you can't teach speed, and he's got that. I wonder, I'm guessing he might be a track guy in the spring.
I was going to say, with pace like that, you would be loved on the 100-meter race. As this corner kick low and away, he's going to get another shot at it.
Yeah, trying to go near post there, and they add up. Unofficially, corner kick number 8.
I know this is a totally different team, but reminds me a lot of Anna Connors on the Bangor side for the girls.
Well, she's a state champion sprinter, and she's able to show that, working that wing and creating offense for her teammates as well, just because she can do with the ball what other people can't do without it in terms of running and getting downfield in a hurry. And you see the same kind of traits there with Jack Mason. He gets down in the corner there. That's not him right there. That's Spangburn, I think. And make things happen.
Some strong battling. That one's actually Fletcher. Fletcher tries. Yeah. Ends up going into Hart. And that's a dangerous 1-2 combo, too. We've seen Fletcher and Mason both take turns on that left wing, and some speed right there. As they go off, gets tangled up a little bit. Advantage is played. They push it off into Sidway. Sidway wants to switch fields of play, goes to his right back. Little touch right here. Pangburn and Hart both kind of sitting back to see what happens. Pangburn comes up, trying to anticipate with Marsh. Pangburn's deflection winds up into Sidway. Sidway now near side. And for Celias Pepin. Excuse me, that would actually be McCafferty at the left back spot.
15 minutes, under 15 minutes now, and possession, a great weapon for the Crusaders here. I mean, they obviously would look to add an insurance goal here to kind of ease the comfort level, but as long as they have the ball, MDI is not scoring, and the Trojans have been hard-pressed to maintain the ball in the offensive end for very long before it's cleared out by the heavy presence of the John Bapst defense.
So you see a little miscommunication right there. Ball ends up trickling out on that far side. Fitzpatrick going to swarm down. I believe they say it's an offsides. Yes, it is, according to the near side official.
Yeah, let's see the good work here. Cleared. That's Mason actually getting his foot on the ball. Pops it up in the air, and MDI ruled offsides. Fitzpatrick able to gather possession just in case.
High school sports on Ticket TV brought to you by the Height family of dealerships. They are proud to serve Central and Western Maine, not only providing you with your next vehicle by exceeding expectations and forging connections with their customers and their community. They're celebrating 111 years. So we see Mason near side trying to hound once more, stopped right in his tracks from Hurley. Hurley, too, being a freshman, that is a difficult task.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive play there. Good show of strength there by the ninth grader as well.
That was one thing I wanted to highlight and forgot to mention on the Bapst side. Not one freshman on their varsity team. That is very uncommon. Usually you see at least one or two.
Yeah, they got a good sub-varsity team, though. I mean, you see I don't know, 23 varsity players, 25 on the JV roster. So you have 50 kids playing soccer in your school. You're in pretty good shape, not just for the present, but for the future as well.
High School Sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by Automotive Life Home Care. Automotive Life is looking for part-time, full-time PSS and CNA candidates. They have flexible schedules, competitive pay, and a sign-on bonus along with a tremendous benefit package. Do you want to apply? Call 217-6026 or go to automotivelife.org.
They take their time now, the Crusaders on the throw-in here.
We used to call them a lot of times, every coach got a different name, but sometimes I'd hear players say, give it the little ha-ha if it's cold, where you ball the ball, wipe the condensation off, as Kluge finds himself right in front of the net, but couldn't put it in. I think he was a little surprised it landed in there after the bounce.
That was Jack Mason again from the left wing. Watch this. Ball just through the defense, made it all the way through, and Kluge gave up on it just a little bit, not anticipating it would make it all the way through, but because it wasn't that high, but sure enough it did. Just another dangerous centering pass from Mason, one of the dozen seniors on this roster.
And Kluge last year, to my understanding from athletic director Coach O'Connell, missed a lot of the season. He never had COVID, but with the COVID protocols, just couldn't avoid staying off the list.
Yeah, victim of circumstances there, unfortunately for him, trying to make the most of the opportunities getting this year to help the Crusaders return to the Northern Maine Championship game, and right now they're 11 and a half minutes away.
And Pangburn and Hart being lethal in that back. Pangburn got burnt. Hart came back, hit him with a slide tackle, and stopped Marsh from getting a long touch.
See the patience here by John Bapst, too. Again, nursing the 1-goal lead out near the midfield, just working the ball around and running a half minute off the clock or so before MDI finally regains possession.
It's MDI now looking for a counterattack. They try a long ball. This one having some good pace to it. Fitzpatrick says, I'm going to come out, and we're going to have it for a punt in my favor.
Yeah, good read there. Hasn't been that busy in the second half, but Fitzpatrick ready to read the play and know that he can be the first person to get to the ball.
High School Sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by the Fitch Company, where you'll find experience with electrical and control system engineers, field technicians, designers, and drafters ready to meet varied engineering challenges or manage your projects. Need help? Visit FitchCompany.com. So we see it looks like Hart is coming out of the game. Nope, he's going to stay on near side. But one player we haven't seen a lot who's been a hot name for the Crusaders is Oscar Martinez. Wasn't able to get any update from Coach Pangburn on him, but
no, he's a pretty active player when he's in there. We haven't seen. I don't know if we've seen any of him, to be perfectly honest with you.
I don't think he's usually up top and a hot name we call. So if we cover the next game, hopefully can have that. As this pass intercepted, but the Crusaders able to smack it back out to half field. Pangburn trying to knife it into the other direction. He does so, but to the wrong team. Trojans now cycle it through their back line to Ankrum. Ankrum now into the central part. Reaches Granholm. Granholm's pass ends up being volleyed, and Pangburn volleys it to the back line of the Trojans. Kluge and Mason with some pressure. Mason trying to keep his way on it, but it's going to be off the Trojans. Going to be throwing for the Crusaders right at half. High School Sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by Dean's Detailing. Dean's Detailing has been Maine's auto detailing leader since 1971. Renew your vehicle's appearance, protect your auto investment, change your outlook. Book your appointment at deansdetailing.com. Long crack, Sidway, going to go wide right. It's the cement. High School Sports on Ticket TV, also brought to you by Rebecca's Gift Shop. They're locally owned with an eclectic mix of merchandise, including many made in Maine products. Come visit them today at 45 Main Street in the beautiful downtown Bangor. And Ernie, I gotta say, I'm glad you taught me what the word eclectic means.
Oh, good. I'm glad. If there's one thing I can do to help, it's not electric, it's eclectic.
Because I remember the first
myriad of interests.
Exactly.
Now, myriad's another question, so we'll leave that for another day.
It's my math has gotten slightly better, but my English has definitely improved over this fall campaign between not so much football be on the stats side of life, but in the soccer world. So we see a long shot. This one almost tailing its way. But that was a heavy hitter right there coming off of Lincoln Walker.
Boy, he is. I don't think we saw him a lot in the first half, but he's come on here in the second half and made his presence felt there. Turn and shoot. Probably 8 or 10 feet wide, but still something that Fischella had to account for. Dives to the far post, the right post, just to make sure it was going to curl in between him and the post.
If Bapst advances, they will face Winslow. And Bapst and Winslow have been more of the heavy hitters in Class B as of recently for the boys' side.
Yeah, it's been a good year for John Bapst fall sports on the boys' side, too, with the football team again. 500 on the regular season at 4-4. It's a good year for Dan O'Connell's club and a trip to the playoffs this weekend. And, of course, the soccer program, 50 players strong, undefeated to this point and looking to get back to the regional final.
Mason puts it into Pangburn. Pangburn turns. And they hit Pangburn back in the central part. He gives it to Hart. Hart. Near side. Some quick touches. Mason loses it into the central part of the field. Kluke trying to hound him from behind. Kluke with some strong push. Right back through Bapst, able to bring it down and give it to Pangburn as they cycle it through. High School Sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by Northeast Driving School. Northeast Driving School has been the leader in driver training since 1969. Register for courses today at northeastdrivingschool.com. So you could hear that one from here.
Yeah, you sure could. John Bapst, though, keeping 5 players and then dropping more back here. And at this point, at least, for the most part of the second half, been preventing MDI from getting anything close to a serious goal opportunity.
So we see Walker, the only one up top. He heads it, and we see the speed from Mason. Mason trying to keep it in his favor. Both players going down, but nothing malicious right there, just tripping up over one another.
Stayed in bounds, though.
That surprised me, too. I didn't expect that one.
Thought it was going out off Mason, actually, the last one to touch it, but then it wound up in the corner, and now MDI trying to advance.
It's Marsh. Some good moves right there, but the ball volleyed out into Kluke. Kluke trying to get by Marsh. Kluke with some strong touches. They're going to say a foul on the back, hit him on the heels.
Yeah. MDI, sense of urgency here with 5.5 minutes left in the second half. Marsh, a threat in these situations, too. He's tall and can get the head on the ball. Let's see what happens.
Free kick served, makes the distance, high and away, and that was a wasted one right there for the Trojans as the Crusaders will have a goal kick.
Yeah, you kind of got to use your teammates in that situation. I mean, I suppose the ball can go in, but odds of it aren't great, but under 5 minutes to play now.
Especially when it's about 45-yard bomb, too, or 55-yard bomb.
Yeah,
because
midfield.
I don't care who you are. If you're the best player in the world, it's difficult to knock that in. A little bit of an all or nothing. So we see Walker out of the match. They got Fletcher with Mason. Mason wanted to hit Fletcher, thought about it once more, decides they're going to swivel through Pangburn. Pangburn some touches, greeted by 3 Trojans. Dances through a couple, finds Sidway. Sidway has a gap, tries a crack, ends up going past on the left side. It's going to be, thought what was a corner kick, but it will be a goal kick.
Wound up going wide. It's kind of hard to tell, but I guess by the reactions of the goalies, you could tell it wasn't a goal, but still a good bid by the Crusaders to add that insurance goal.
That would have been the dagger right there if the Crusaders could have notched that in. High School Sports on Ticket TV, brought to you by Quirk Auto Group, your local Boss Plow dealer. It's your boss. Find it at Quirk.
See, here's good. Well, ball went out of bounds there, but John Bapst somewhat content there momentarily just to work the ball around the midfield, switch fields from left to right, right to left, and just watch that clock run down.
And I don't like what they were doing about excluding that last possession, about 4 or 5 possessions in a row where they really were parking the bus. I like when they keep that offensive attack, because to me that's makes me think of you're playing to not lose. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, what you're trying to do in that case, I'm sure, is prevent the quick counterattack, because that's kind of how MDI scored its goal in the first half, and perhaps at this point the way John Bapst is playing defensively is probably their best chance to get the equalizer here, is to have an advantage numbers-wise going to the other end because John Bapst has been controlling the territorial side of this game for a while now.
Free kick. He's going to put it back post. Kluge gets a head on it. Puts one in front. Trickles in front of the net, but the Crusaders can't squalor it inside. Will be a throw-in, but the Crusaders having a gift of an opportunity right there.
Yeah, I want to see who prevented it from going in. Deep ball. Header there. Then Fletcher that kind of trickles it in, but number 13 for MDI, Miles Burr, junior defenseman, right there on the doorstep to prevent the ball from going in. Now we've got someone down there.
I believe it's Fletcher or Mason.
Yeah, might have been Fletcher because he was in that area when the play was continuing here.
High School Sports on Ticket TV is brought to you by Greenway Equipment Sales. How you make the most of your land. Nothing runs like a deer. In Bangor and Ellsworth and at greenwayequipment.com.
Yeah, nice initial save there by Fischella, but then the ball trickled away and Fletcher got on it at that far post. And I think that's him getting up now on his own. A little bit of a limp, but he's worked hard over the course of the first 77 minutes and 14 seconds of this match. And
it actually, I believe, is Fletcher and not Mason. Mason is right around the half field line, yellow cleats. Fletcher being a little bit of that speedy pair the two have. That's good to see. He'll walk off under his own will. And of course, always wishing not just Fletcher, but every athlete in general, just the best health you can. But it is this time of year, and everyone's battling some injuries.
Well, especially when you're playing this hard, too. I mean, he was staring at a potential insurance goal there, so he went hard after the ball, got a foot on it. Couldn't get enough on it to get it past the goal, but kept the play alive before he went down.
High School Sports on Ticket TV brought to you by Brewer Redemption Center and the North Brewer Shopping Center. Brewer Redemption Center is clean, organized, and offers excellent parking. 391 North Main Street, Brewer. Header into Kluge. Kluge trying to get a crack at it once more. Going to leave it off for one of his mates. They put it back post. Sidway just unable to capitalize.
Just wide. Best defense, a good offense, and we're seeing continued pressure here late in the game by the Crusaders. Less than 2.5 to go now.
It is all or nothing for both teams in this last 140 seconds. Kluge settles right into the central part. They give it off into Mason. Mason near side takes some long touches. Mason trying to get it back.
Yeah, he was ridden off the play that time. Good MDI defense there, but again, keeping the ball alive and in the offensive end are the Crusaders.
Crusaders doing a great job at spacing. They're going to give it back to Fitzpatrick. He's going to have a long kick ahead of him. Marsh trying to get it deflected off him. Sidway's going to bring it down to feet. Now reach a minute 30 left. Sidway gets it into his right back once more. He's going to try and find Mason, but Pangburn has to challenge. He's going to win it. Mason thinking about putting on the burners. Instead, lets Walker.
Smart move there just to redirect it to the other end of the field because that's going to burn time off the clock. And now here comes MDI.
Pangburn gets a foot on it. It's going to have a throw in his possession. Surprise the quickness, but Pangburn throws it in fast.
Yeah, he tipped it off the foot of a MDI player there. People are getting excited all around the stadium here with less than a minute to go now.
Trojans with less than 50 seconds to be able to put themselves into overtime, while the Crusaders are 40 seconds away from finding themselves with a spot into the final for the regionals. Sidway hounding into the central part, trying to chase it down. Marsh gets it. Marsh trying. Hart says we're blasting it out. Ball sails past on that near side. Final seconds trickling off the clock. So you can feel.
That's Pangburn.
Pangburn hits it, left foot out of play. 10 seconds winding down. So you can hear the crowd starting to give their chants. And that will leave the John Bapst Crusaders winning this match a score of 2-1 over the MDI Trojans.
Yeah, it's a high-quality match on both sides. This John Bapst, the number 1 seed, based on an undefeated season to date, just the one tie with MDI in their second meeting of the year. So there was a ton of respect that the Crusaders had for the Trojans coming into this third meeting based on that, and kind of showed as, for the most part, the Crusaders controlled play. Got the go-ahead goal in the second half off the foot of Kyle Sidaway. The assist to Mason, Jack Mason, and that was enough. From then on, it was the offense controlling the ball and the defense doing what it needed to do to keep MDI from getting serious opportunities to score in the final 40 minutes of play. And now it's on to another rematch, and that is a rematch between John Bapst and Winslow, the number 2 seed, with the same record, by the way. Now 15-0-1. Just one tie for Winslow this season, even though Winslow and John Bapst didn't play each other. They play in different leagues, so the competition is different, or different schools at least, as the teams shake hands across the way. But we'll have a rematch as this time John Bapst hopes the result is a little bit different than it was the last time around when Winslow defeated John Bapst 2-0 in last year's Class B North Championship game. Black Raiders went on to lose to Yarmouth 3-0 in the state final. So it'll be John Bapst and Winslow, 4 o'clock on Wednesday at Cameron Stadium in Bangor. The States, by the way, will be right back here for Class B. We'll be right back here at Hamden Academy on Saturday. Game time yet to be determined.
So that will do it. The MDI Trojans eliminated from this playoff run. The John Bapst Crusaders looking for a rematch now against the Winslow Raiders. We'll be right back with the Dean's Detailing postgame shows as high school soccer on Ticket TV.
The day begins in darkness. Time does not define me. It drives me to keep roads, schools, and storefronts open, making sure our town is open by daybreak and our livelihoods are open for business.
It's your boss. Find it at Quirk.
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. So at Firehouse Subs, we don't just make subs. We make subs that are big, bold, and craveable. We make our subs differently because our subs make a difference. Like our spicy Cajun chicken with Cajun seasoned grilled chicken breast and a house-made Cajun mayo. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
Visit 920 Stillwater Avenue.
I'm Phil Levesque, president of Levesque Business Solutions. We're a family-owned Maine business since 1963. We're your one-stop shop for great office products at affordable rates. From copiers to office furniture to PPE, we've got it all warehoused right here in Bangor. We're your local small Maine business with a dedicated staff providing honest and friendly customer service, top-of-the-line tech support, and the option of in-house leasing. Let us help you get back to...
Why is the Coach House Restaurant the best family restaurant around? Is it because of the fine home-cooked meals for the family? Is it because of the delicious homemade desserts? Is it because of the full bar or the spacious Coach House banquet room that you can reserve for holiday parties? Is it because of the large menu of tasty offerings for breakfast, lunch, or dinner? The Coach House Restaurant is the best family restaurant around because of all of these things. See for yourself at 457 Wilson Street Brewer. You can eat in or take out.
Nothing runs like a deer.
And Greenway Equipment Sales keeps your John Deere running year-round with convenient mobile maintenance service. We service most walk-behind and riding lawn equipment right in your yard in our specialty equipped truck with no mess in your driveway. Our 14-point checkup will keep your John Deere running smoothly. We'll even change attachments for you. Call the Smith Brothers today to schedule expert service right at your door. With 2 trucks now on the road to serve you better.
Nothing runs like a deer. From Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
Uno's is the place to be this fall for great food, spectacular drink specials, and ice cold craft beer. Come enjoy half-price appetizers along with $3 Bud Light and Coors Light. Don't feel like cooking tonight? Get Uno's delivered with DoorDash, Grubhub, or Uber Eats. And new at Uno's, schedule a dough raiser for your local fundraiser and earn up to 25% of event sales. Contact your local Uno Pizzeria for more details in Bangor at 725 Stillwater Avenue. Call and place your order at 947-5000 or go to...
In the blink of an eye, dress up becomes curtain call. We don't want you to miss a thing. For personal professional service and a selection of styles like no other, bring your prescription to Mainly Eyes. Inside Bangor Mall, you'll see the difference at Mainly Eyes.
You don't have to worry about gas prices with the new Kia from Van Sickle. Choose from the affordable 2022 Kia Forte EPA at 39 miles per gallon or the Kia Niro Hybrid EPA rated at 53 mpg. The new all-wheel drive Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid EPA rated at 79 mpge. Or check out the stunning all-new all-wheel drive 2023 Kia Sportage and get the peace of mind that comes with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The best in the business.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle.
Whether you want to get back to work, back to sports, or simply back to living your life, County Physical Therapy can help you achieve your goals. With a new location in Bangor, County Physical Therapy brings a 30-year history of high-performance, outcome-based rehab to the Great Skates Plaza at 82 Sylvan Road. And with priority scheduling, you get seen in days, not weeks. Remember, it's your choice. Make the best choice. County Physical Therapy, now in Bangor. Call them today at 401-4324 or visit them online at countypt.com.
We can go into a room and have absolutely nothing in there, nothing on the windows, no color, no character, no tone to a room.
That's, I think, where we're strongest, is being able to help someone envision what's going to go in that window.
And we leave, it's totally transformed into something that the customer wants it to be. We've often been told we make a room look better just by leaving it.
The day begins in darkness. Time does not define me. It drives me. To keep roads, schools, and storefronts open. Making sure our town is open by daybreak and our livelihoods are open for business.
It's your boss. Find it at Quirk.
From the land to the sea, Chase's Family Restaurant is the place to be.
Are you looking for a place to unwind after a long day?
Then come check out our Hideaway Lounge.
With a bar that's both upbeat and laid back. And it's the perfect atmosphere for anyone who wants to unwind after work.
Or kick it up for the weekends with daily drink specials and a full dinner menu.
You can fill up on a good time any night of the week.
Thank you for being a part of our family.
Here at Chase's Family Restaurant.
He can't catch a football, but he can fetch you a home. Catch Luke at Next Home Experience.
Back to Andon Academy, John Bapst taking the win 2-1 in this semifinal matchup against the MDI Trojans. This is the Dean's Detailing post-game show. Alex Mooney alongside Ernie Clark. High School Sports on Ticket TV is also brought to you by Acadia Federal Credit Union. Acadia Federal Credit Union is a full-service financial institution with 8 branches, 3 of them in Bangor. Find out how Acadia can enrich your life today at Acadia FCU. Let's take a look at our Chase's Family Restaurant post-game highlights.
Okay, here's MDI trying to clear the ball from its area, and they cleared it back to the goalie, and he grabbed it, and you can't do that with the hands on a kick, on a pass from your teammate, so you get an indirect kick, and there is Pangburn off the bottom of the crossbar and off the back of the wall of defenders, but no goal there. Another chance there. I mean, a lot of pressure being put on throughout the contest, really, by John Bapst unofficially. 12-3, excuse me, on shots on goal in this game, and I don't know that that's 100% accurate, but I think it reflects the the control of the play by John Bapst, at least in the game.
Oh, certainly.
And you see in these shots go just wide. Those ones don't count on shots on goal, but though just wide as pressure being put. Now, here's the pass from Marsh to Trayon. Put my roster away. Trayon Nelson for the goal, the equalizing goal for MDI. That coming with 8:48 left in the opening half. And the teams went into intermission tied at 1-1. There's Garrett Fletcher of John Bapst working hard against 3 defenders. Here's a corner kick by Jack Mason for the header that goes into the net. That's Sidaway with the header. That's the go-ahead goal early in the second half, 37:07, just barely, not quite 3 minutes into the second half, and the Crusaders have the lead they want. And from then on, it's just a question of using the defense and offense to keep MDI off the board as they had the ball down in MDI's defensive end for much of the game. Here's an example of it. Jack Mason with a clearing pass through the middle. I think it was Kluke there at the far post, but didn't anticipate it making it all the way through. And there's a shot. That's 17. Is that Walker?
That is Sidway.
That's Sidway again, excuse me. And hard to see the numbers. And again, more pressure being put on by John Bapst, and that ball is finally cleared out of the way by number 13 of MDI, Miles Burr, to keep it a 2-1 game. And there's the final buzzer and the celebration as John Bapst earns another trip to the Northern Maine Class B championship game. Again, that game set for 4 o'clock Wednesday. Number 1 John Bapst against number 2 Winslow.
And player of the game, Ernie, do you think it's a good pick right there?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw out a couple names before I name the player of the game, and that's the work done in the midfield by John Pangburn and Sidaway and others, certainly, in terms of controlling the play and keeping helping to keep MDI from sustaining offense in its end. But yeah, it's hard to argue with Jack Mason, a goal and an assist, as he continues to work wonders from that left wing for the Crusaders. So he scored the first goal of the match for the Crusaders, and then assisted with another corner kick on that second goal of the match, and made the big difference as John Bapst scored the win. So we'll give Jack Mason, one of the 12 seniors on the John Bapst roster, the nod as the player of the game.
So Jack Mason, you heard it here from Ernesto, having, I'll say, the prolific prognostications for today.
I don't know about that. Prolific is a volume of numbers as opposed to accurate. That's two different things.
Hey, so either way, we're going to say Ernie Clark having a good little pick right here. We're going to come right back for more on the Dean's Detailing post-game show. It's high school soccer on Ticket TV.
When it comes to repairing or replacing your windshield, Novus is the clear choice in glass repair. Locally owned and operated at 499 Hammond Street, we offer free mobile service in the greater Bangor area, as well as shuttle service during bad weather. We can come to your home, workplace, or anywhere you are. Novus is a preferred service provider by all insurance companies, and we can cover up to $100 of your insurance deductible. Whether it's repairing or replacing your windshield, door glass, mirror, or your rear window glass, you can count on Novus to be where you are when you need us the most. Call Novus today.
Fast, friendly, honest, and clean. Counted right in front of you. You won't have to wait long to leave Brewer Redemption Center with cash in your hand. Located in the North Brewer Shopping Center behind the Parody, Brewer Redemption Center is open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 6, and Saturdays, 8 to 4. So grab those returnables and head over to Brewer Redemption Center today. Our team is waiting for you.
What's the biggest craze this fall for parties and get-togethers? It's Flash Me Maine. Photo booths are a fun, exciting way to capture memories at your party or event. And Flash Me Maine is the premier photo booth rental company. The Magic Mirror booth is the most elegant, modern, sleek, and stunning booth currently available. Then there's the Flash Me Maine Duo booth, a hybrid booth that is portable. Flash Me Maine has dozens of props and backgrounds to choose from. Their goal is to make sure you have fun and that your photo booth photos make memories to last a lifetime. Let Flash Me Maine photo booth rentals make your next get-together a blast. Find them on Facebook or at flashmemaine.com.
Why is the Coach House Restaurant the best family restaurant around? Is it because of the fine home-cooked meals for the family? Is it because of the delicious homemade desserts? Is it because of the full bar or the spacious Coach House banquet room that you can reserve for holiday parties? Is it because of the large menu of tasty offerings for breakfast, lunch, or dinner? The Coach House Restaurant is the best family restaurant around because of all of these things. See for yourself at 457 Wilson Street Brewer. You can eat in or take out.
Nothing runs like a deer.
And Greenway Equipment Sales keeps your John Deere running year-round with convenient mobile maintenance service. We service most walk-behind and riding lawn equipment right in your yard in our specialty-equipped truck with no mess in your driveway. Our 14-point checkup will keep your John Deere running smoothly. We'll even change attachments for you. Call the Smith Brothers today to schedule expert service right at your door. With 2 trucks now on the road to serve you better.
Nothing runs like a deer. From Greenway Equipment Sales, Ellsworth and Bangor.
Back to Hamden Academy. John Bapst taking the win 2-1 here in this semifinal in Class B North. We are now here at the Dean's Detailing post-game show. Ernie, play of the game. There's a lot of them, but we had some confirmation on goal number 1 of this one.
Well, we did. It was quite the shot, too. It was directly off a corner kick. Here is Jack Mason. This in the first half. Kick goes... And he said, I just talked to him, he said it deflected in off that defender from MDI at the near post, but he gets credit for the goal there. You see it again. Excuse me, direct shot. Just off the near post. It looked like it was curling in anyways.
That was a difficult one right there, as being able to have a corner kick a lot of times is a gamble if you're going to try and take a shot on goal, because if you got a foot on that and it's curling towards the goal, a lot of times it's an all-or-nothing mentality, or you're trying to get a near post for someone to tic-tac it in, whether if you have someone that has a foot that's curling away from the keeper, so you get on a right, you have a corner on the right side, and you have a right-footed player taking it, that ball is going to curl away from the keeper. So Mason really going for that all-or-nothing, and it was the all he wanted. He scored the first goal of the match.
And that other goal was equally worthy of play of the game as well. That was the corner kick by Mason in the second half. It turns out to be the winning goal, and the header by Kyle Sidaway that made it 2-1 early in the second half. I think it was 2:53 into the second half. By the way, there's still football going on here at Hamden Academy, but it's just the American version, as the John Bapst football team is practicing. I think I heard until 9 o'clock tonight. Going to take advantage of the availability of the turf to get a practice in advance of their playoff game this weekend in Class D football. Number 6 John Bapst at number 3 Lisbon St. Dominic. I think that's Friday night down in Lisbon.
You always got to book it if you've already got it. Might as well take advantage for it. Now, I know some of us wake up early, some of us wake up late. Taking a look at some of our local shows that we have.
Yes, indeed. The morning roast, rise and shine from 6 to 8 in the morning. Brian Sullivan and the gang getting you going, getting your day off to a good start. And then afternoon drive time is indeed the drive. 92.9 The Ticket, your sports, your team, your show, Monday through Friday from 4 to 6 p.m.
And then we do see the Friday night football graphic as we are approaching that. Ernie, that's our next game.
Yeah, next game on the agenda is indeed a football game. Friday night, the Class B North semifinals take place in several locations. We will be at Pottle Field in Herman as the number 2 ranked Herman Hawks take on the number 3 ranked Oceanside Mariners from Rockland. And if their regular season game is any indication, it should be a heck of a contest. Herman winning that game 38-36 midway through the season, so a 2-point game there. Herman coming off a 16-0 win over number 7 Hamden Academy in the quarterfinals last Friday, while Oceanside defeated Maine Central Institute of Pittsfield in its quarterfinal to set up that semifinal matchup.
Give a special shout out to the crew once more. Nate Bailey being the director, Jim Churchill helping out with a multitude of things. We had Jay Baines on one main cam, we had Matt Cunha on cam as well, along with Laney. Of course, Ernie Clark being my color analyst, and myself, Alex Mooney, being play-by-play for the night. One last time from here on Hamden Academy, John Bapst taking the win 2-1, finding themselves in the North Final. This has been High School Soccer on Ticket TV.
High school sports are underway for the 2022-23 season, and C&K Variety in Herman is ready to help you make it great. Order online or stop by C&K Variety this season for hand-tossed pizza, fresh pasta, sandwiches, salads, and more. Get everything you need in one place. The perfect pregame fuel or postgame treat. Serving the community for decades, we're living proof that incredible fast food doesn't have to come out of a microwave. Open 7 days a week, C&K Variety wishes good luck to all teams this season.
Every Maine winter brings its challenges, but one thing always remains the same. Having the right winter tires on your vehicle will get you and your family where you need to go safely. At Twin City Tire and Service in Brewer, you'll find the lowest prices on tires guaranteed. All the best brands for all the worst weather conditions. From alignments to brakes and everything else under the hood, Twin City Tire wants to help you have your safest winter yet. Find the perfect set of winter tires for your vehicle at Twin City Tire and Service, 609 Wilson Street, Brewer.
Life is so much better when you impact the lives of those around you, and with Creative Options, you will. Creative Options provides services and support to adults with intellectual disabilities, and right now, Creative Options is looking for shared living providers who take clients into their own homes, kind of like adult foster care. You'll enjoy a generous, tax-free stipend to work from home and make a difference in someone's life. To apply for this tremendous opportunity, simply visit creativeoptionsllc.org. That's creativeoptionsllc.org. Creative Options, where it's all about choice.
Hammond Lumber Company is honored to have again been named one of the best places to work in Maine. Hammond Lumber recognizes the importance of employee satisfaction. They provide a positive workplace environment with opportunities to grow. Hammond has continued to grow too, with more team members across Maine and New Hampshire. To find your place on the Hammond team, click on the careers link at hammondlumber.com. Hammond Lumber Company, proud to be one of the best places to work in Maine.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Are you ready? When the forecast calls for nasty weather, all roads lead to down east. With Toyota's impressive lineup of 15 all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive vehicles, you're sure to find a model and payment that's right for you. Don't see it on our lot? Here's the latest update on models arriving soon. Pre-order yours now for the fastest delivery. When Maine roads get messy, all roads lead to down east. Your four-wheel drive and all-wheel drive headquarters on Wilson Street in Brewer.
Soccer on Ticket TV has been brought to you by Quirk Auto Group, Greenway Equipment, Brewer Redemption Center, Acadia Federal Credit Union, Pine Tree Solar, Next Home Experience, Northeast Driving School, Uno's Pizzeria and Grill, Dean's Detailing, Levesque Business Solutions, Bangor Window Shade and Drapery, Rebecca's Gift Shop, Height Family of Dealerships, Novus Glass, Firehouse Subs, County Physical Therapy, Flash Me Maine Photo Booth Rentals, Chase's Family Restaurant and Hideaway Lounge, and the Coach House Restaurant. Also presented by Down East Toyota, Twin City Tire, C&K Variety, Midcoast Denture Design, First National Bank, Creative Options, Kia Van Sickle, Napa Auto Parts, Hammond Lumber Company, and Mainly Eyes. High school soccer on Ticket TV is also brought to you by Tony Murray's Fairway Auto Sales, Tossie's Checkout, Comfort Shoes and more, Automobile Lights Home Care, The Fish Company, The Corner Store, Black Fly Coffee Company, Smith & Lane Pressure Washing, Lumber Landscape and Supply Company, Loring Job Corps, and Hildreth Street Automotive. High school soccer on Ticket TV is a production of Sports Radio 92.9 The Ticket and Sportsnet Maine.